Hi sewing friends, welcome to my sewing room. My name's Beth, and if you're new, welcome. Today's quilt block is called Marion's Choice, and I'm using some pinks and reds and a little bit of a soft yellow. For each block, I'm cutting 12 2.5-inch squares from a cream for the background fabric. I also need some 3-inch squares to make some half-square triangles, so for this one I'm using this sort of old-fashioned red color, and I will also be pairing that with some 3-inch squares for the background. I also need a center square that's 2.5 inches. And this pink here will be the 4 2.5-inch squares that I need for the middle of the block. So here are the 3-inch squares I'll be using for my half square triangles. And then I have all of these are 2.5 inches for the rest of the block. This is a 5 by 5 quilt block, and first thing I need to do is make my half square triangles. So I took my 3-inch squares and I'm going to pair them up with the background fabric, and I will draw a pencil line from corner to corner, and then I'll put a seam on both sides of my pencil line. I'll cut right along that line, and after pressing these half square triangles, I'll trim them all to 2.5 inches. This is a pretty simple block to lay out. I'm starting with the red center, and I'll be laying out a 9 patch first of all, and then I will add my half square triangles around the outside, sort of pointing out. The half square triangles sort of point out to the corner. After laying the half square triangles out, I was able to fill in the gaps with the background squares. I made 3 more quilt blocks for a total of 4 to put together a small quilt, very similar to a quilt I made a couple of years ago. This is a beautiful quilt block using these simple shapes. I'm excited to get this small quilt together. It would look great as a larger quilt, but I think I'm going to stop at 4 blocks. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.